Welcome back to Strategic Social Networking. I'm Daniel, and today we're going to talk about Adpocalypse 2.0. Yep, it's here, and you can thank Google's incompetent executives for once again destroying the entire YouTube platform and making the lives of its creators beyond miserable. So this last week, once again, advertisers are now pulling off the platform in droves, including Diego, the makers of Guinness, Smirnoff, and Johnny Walker Scotch. Adidas pulled their ads off the platform. Dutch Bank pulled their ads. Mars Candy Company pulled the makers of Snickers, they pulled their ads off the platform. And there's a bunch more. They're all pulling out right now. It's literally going to get to the point where we're basically backtracking. We're going back to the situation we had 8 months ago. Just when we thought the adpocalypse had smoothed out, everything was cool, people got their ads back, they got their revenue back, and now all of a sudden this. You have a bunch of YouTubers right now that are on the verge of homelessness from the first ad fiasco that took place earlier this year. And now this happened. So here's the deal. Here's what happened, okay? It turns out that a new investigation launched investigative reporting from the Times of London regarding children's videos on YouTube that showed supposedly sexually explicit content, and people were making predatory comments on children's videos. And so when advertisers found out about this, they yanked their ads off the platform. Well, here's the issue, okay? It turns out that Google really did not do much of anything to rectify the situation they had to begin with the first adpocalypse. They went after creators, the bad actors in the platform as far as the content creators go. But what Google did was they also turned a blind eye to the average YouTube user. Okay, the commenting reporting system on YouTube is remained completely broken throughout the course of this entire past year. Despite everything that happened, Google has done nothing. If you come across a comment that's full of derogatory, inflammatory language, hate speech, and you report it, Google will say, thank you for reporting this, and then you can refresh the page, and guess what? The comment is still there. See, they have not addressed anything. So they have totally overlooked the community. They went after the creators, and they completely overlooked the actual average YouTube users. So it turns out people were going in this investigative report from the Times of London, who, by the way, they are also the ones who caused the first adpocalypse. They're the ones that ran an investigation into hate speech and ads being served on hate speech videos on YouTube earlier this year. They're the ones that blew up and caused all the advertisers to pull out the first time around. So here we are again. Well, why hasn't Google done anything to rectify the situation? Our gaming channel, Gamers Bay, we literally lost ads on close to 100 videos, and it was like harmless stuff, like our Left 4 Dead videos and stuff like that. Our Doom and Half-Life videos all lost their ads, and I'm going, what the heck, what? And it's like people like Casey Neistat came out this past month and said, hey man, Google, you guys are punishing the wrong people. You guys screwed up. And now you're punishing all these people that have nothing to do with the situation at all, which he's right. And then Google caved in and gave us all back our ads. So at present, we got the ads back in all the videos on our gaming channel, except for I think 7 or 8 videos, which is no big deal, but we got back the bulk of them. Because originally it was like 83 videos, and I was pissed. It was like 600 hours of work for the Left 4 Dead series that we did. And to see, to lose all the potential ad revenue from that, from work that I spent the entire summer, 7 days a week working on, yeah, that pisses people off. And so here we are again. And now it comes down to not just the content creators. Google goes, you know what? We have a problem with our users. With the people who actually, with the viewers themselves. Yeah, duh. How did you not know this? For instance, earlier this year, back in the summer, Scares, a big news YouTuber, did a report where he talked about the LGBT community was being discriminated against. They said they were being discriminated against. They were being unjustly flagged by Google's algorithms, by the YouTube algorithm system, as being age restricted and so forth. And Google came out and acknowledged, yeah, you know what? We screwed up. We're going to fix it. And they did. And so Scares came back and did a second video, a follow-up, and said, hey, good news. You know what? Google gave these people back their visibility. And the response was tens of thousands of people making comments full of hate speech, calling people, just all kinds of derogatory language towards the LGBT community. There was literally tens of thousands of these comments. Well, here's the thing. Advertisers don't want their ads on this crap, okay? If there's people out there that have hatred for humanity, that's fine. But Google has to figure out that YouTube is not the place for it. And if they continue to try to make it to be the place for hate speech, then this is what's going to happen. The advertisers are going to continue to pull out, and the creators aren't going to have a leg left to stand on. All right. One of the things, Google has made some strides. One of the things they did this year was they implemented new tools for content creators to automatically flag what may be deemed as potentially inappropriate comments. The system is not perfect. We have implemented it across all of our channels. We have a number of gaming channels. Gamers Bay is one of them. And we do flag potentially inappropriate comments because we don't want profanity all over our videos. And who wants that anyways? You know what? It scares away positive interaction. When people go to your channel and they like your video and they go down to go comment and they see all types of hate speech and really angry people and a lot of real inflammatory remarks, well, when people see that, it scares them away and they're not going to want to hang out. I know a lot of times I won't comment on a video if it's real, there's a lot of negativity in the comment section. I'm like, man, I don't want to get involved in all this, and I'll just hit the back button, go somewhere else, go check out another video. But so they have made some efforts to stamp out the issue with harassment and hate speech and things like that. But the problem is the reporting system remains broken. If you report inappropriate what are potentially inappropriate comments, I have seen people, make statements like calling people the N-word and telling people they're going to kill them and all this kind of stuff. That's not appropriate for YouTube, okay? It's not. It's not appropriate for social media. Advertisers don't want their ads near that stuff. A lot of us channels, I know a lot of people, a lot of content creators on YouTube don't mind having profanity-laced comment sections in all their videos. Well, you know what? I don't want it on my channels. I don't want it on my videos. We don't allow it. And we actually moderate for Google, okay? We moderate on Google+. I run communities there with over 500,000 members. And we're the judge and jury of content, people, and the ideas that traverse the platform. And if you allow people to come into your space and start throwing hate speech, profanity, and stuff around and harassing people, then other people are going to come and they're going to see that, other bad actors, and they're going to go, okay, well, other people can do it, so I can do it too. And they think it gets to the point where people feel like it's just an accepted practice to preach hatred for humanity. And it's not. If you go on YouTube, if you go on Google+, if you were to compare Google+ to YouTube in the comments, you go look at the comment sections on the posts in my communities. Dude, we don't have any hate speech. We don't even have any profanity. It's a very, very rare event. People are very respectful. If I go to Strategic Social Network's community on Google+, and we have over 160,000 members, no one ever fights and argues. If there are any arguments, they're very, very minor. Nobody uses any profanity. We don't have any hate speech. There's no angry people lashing out at each other and all this BS like we see here on YouTube. We don't have that problem there. I have another community that's got over 250,000 members, and guess what? There's no problems with hate speech. There's no problems with profanity. There's no problems with people making derogatory remarks or anything like that. We just don't have that issue. You know why? Because we have policies that we enforce that we don't allow it. But here on YouTube, Google does. That's why Google Plus is so clean, because we have real humans that actually work to keep the platform clean of bad actors. Okay, and you get on YouTube and Google just says it's acceptable to not act like a decent human being and not be respectful to people. And this is a clear reminder what we're going through right now with these advertisers pulling out again, that Google needs to clean this platform up. They really do. They need to get this stuff off the platform. Got a lot of bad actors. Last month we had issues with a lot of channels that were creating content based on children's characters in demeaning manner, in a really demeaning, in inappropriate manner. And children were seeing a lot of this stuff, and a lot of it depicted violence and really grotesque images and ideas. And so obviously that's not appropriate for children. You don't want your kids to see that kind of stuff. And so Google, this last few weeks, Google has been kicking a lot of channels out. They're saying you're crossing the line. I think that it's part of the problem, like I said, is the commenting system is really, really broken on YouTube. If you were to report a video, or if you were to report an inappropriate comment, and I've seen some really just flat out horrible comments people make, threatening each other and harassing people, making really demeaning remarks. And if you flag those comments, like I said, you can refresh the page, you can switch accounts to go back and view that video again, and the comments are still there. So that tells me that Google is not, obviously their algorithms, something's screwed up. Their algorithms are not working to weed out the trash. But one of the things that does work, and that you can do right now if you're a creator on YouTube, this does work, is, like I said, you can, on your channel, when you click on community settings from your channel, there is an option there to automatically flag inappropriate comments. You can also assign moderators to your channel, and that's how we operate on Google Plus. In the case of our brands, we have a pretty large team of moderators. I don't know how many moderators are assigned total. I think we have maybe like 30 or 35 moderators across all of our communities. And the system really works there. If somebody goes and they flag a post on Google Plus, more often than not, it automatically gets flagged to moderators, ends up in the spam folder, and then for moderator review, and it gets pulled out of the community flow, and it literally gets pulled out of the flow of the entire network. And Google gives us the power to really to really enforce their guidelines there. For instance, if I go in the spam folder on strategic social networking and I tell Google, hey, what this person is doing is bad, this is wrong, this is totally inappropriate, this doesn't belong on this platform, Google's going to go, okay, and they're going to remove it. It may have been shared elsewhere on the platform, and it's going to get wiped off. It's going to get wiped off the flow of the entire network. On the spot, it's gone. It's dumped, and that's the end of it. Google's not going to ask us twice. It's gone. And that's part of the problem here. We really need more than algorithms on YouTube. We need moderation, okay? I understand, people use profanity in their videos and stuff like that. People play video games and they do, first-person shooters and stuff like that. But there has to come a point where you draw the line. You have to say enough is enough. There's a difference between saying the F word or, just certain, profanity, and then saying, using hate speech like the N word and stuff like that. That's really, that's a lot of people are going to find that offensive. And for that reason, it really should not be allowed on platforms like this. We don't allow it on Google Plus. If people go in our communities and they start using the N word and making derogatory remarks and stuff, they're going to get kicked out. They're going to get kicked out. And then any future posts they make in any communities are automatically going to get flagged. And that's if they don't get suspended on the spot or their account terminated. It's pretty much a 3 strikes, you're out rule on Google Plus regarding just, spam. Regarding spam, just their overall guidelines, hate speech and harassment. When it comes to hate speech, it's 1 strike, you're out, you're gone. We're going to see to it that your account is closed and that you're done for on Google Plus. We're not going to we don't tolerate that. And it's the same thing, any type of hate speech or anything like that. Sometimes we've caught people using the N-word and stuff in the communities, and we'll give them a warning. But if the intent, it depends on what the intent is. The intent is literally to make racist, derogatory, insensitive remarks towards other people. We're going to see to that your account is no longer. It's not acceptable, and it shouldn't be here on YouTube. And it sucks for a lot of creators too, because there's a lot of great, talented people on YouTube. They come here to share their talents with the world, and you go and look at the comment sections of their videos, and it's like, man, I have no idea why people are so angry. There's some people on YouTube. I made a comment on a video, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and it was like something totally harmless, and this guy just came at me, just threatening me. And I'm just like, whoa, I'm like, what's the deal? I'm like, what is this all about? You're going way overboard here. And I can't figure out any logical reasoning for why people act like that. I really can't. I think part of the problem is when you have a system where there's no accountability, people will be their true selves. They will just, if they know they can get away with it, then they will just treat each other badly. That's how humans are. It's terrible, I think the real you, when it comes to humans, I think the real us comes out when we get online. Because you know what? People can hide behind a sock puppet profile, and now there's no accountability, and people are used to just doing what they want freely online. They get on YouTube, right? And they're used to not having anybody tell them what to do. They're used to threatening people, harassing people. And it's always been something that's considered to be acceptable. And it's not. It's really not. I mean, at some point, something has to change, I mean, here, this really sucks too, because we just got our ads back. Like I said, in our gaming channels, we just got our ads back in all of our videos. Everything was cool. We got back to work again. I have health issues, so I have times where I can't work at all. I can't afford, I can't afford to have any more drama with YouTube and have all of our ads pulled. And in my case, it's like over 5 years of my hard work I spent building brands in Google Plus, and now we're trying to build up those brands. We're moving them over onto YouTube and trying to build them up here, and we have bad actors as usual. In this case, it's people making really disgusting remarks on children's videos. It's pedophiles or whatever the case may be. It's making remarks, and then the report from the Times of London also stated that some of the videos were actually depicting some really just inappropriate children in sexually suggestive manners and so forth. Obviously, Google had to know this stuff was going on. I mean, there's no excuse for this. I don't know what the course of action now is. I'm starting to get the idea that Google's leadership is just not cut out for the job. I think it's really time for them to think about, their executives to think about possibly stepping down and letting somebody else take charge. I think it's time for Susan Wojcicki to probably go, as long as Sundar Pichai, that is Google's chief executive officer at the moment, I think it's time for him to go as well. These people are not doing their job. This is ridiculous. This issue should have been smoothed out a long time ago. And, I had written an article that we published in our community months and months ago, back during the summer, where we outlined how Google had stamped out a lot of the bad actors as far as content creators went, and at the same time, they completely overlooked the actual users of the YouTube platform, the passive users who watch videos, the people who are just here to ingest the content, not to create it. They've been completely overlooked, and they're a huge, huge component, a huge part of this problem. And if Google wants to get this under control, they need to start setting some type of acceptable guidelines for the people who use the platform. And in the case of the article from the Times of London, that's just it. Most of it was not sexually suggested content, so to speak. It was harmless videos that sometimes children made. There are kids on here, 13, 14 years old. They make videos. And unfortunately, there's some really mentally deranged people out there, and they're going and they're making sexually suggestive remarks, and advertisers are finding out that their ads are on these videos with these disgusting comments below. Why did Google wait until now to acknowledge this problem? I gave a clear example earlier in this video already about the situation with Scarce. Scarce made a video talking about the LGBT community on YouTube and how they were upset that their content was being age restricted and flagged by Google just because it was LGBT related. And Google, after Google acknowledged that there was an issue with the algorithms and they were working to fix it, Scarce comes back, reports on it, and the response from tens of thousands of people, of just regular everyday users on YouTube, was to make a bunch of disgusting, hateful, derogatory remarks towards the LGBT community, which was totally inappropriate. And Scarce is like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do to deal with this? And then Google rolled out a beefed up commenting system to flag inappropriate comments and so forth. But that's not enough. We need human moderators on YouTube. There needs to be a system of accountability. Anytime that anytime there's no fear of accountability, people will act like savages. That's what they will do. It's really unfortunate that people will treat each other the way that they do online. I have seen it many, many times. Twitter finally said they've had enough. If you harass people on there, they'll just straight up close your account. They're not gonna tolerate it. You might get a warning once or twice. Man, you get to that third time, I guarantee you, that will be the end of you. And on Google Plus, we don't tolerate it. I understand. People get angry, people get upset, and people fight and argue, and that's understandable. And we exercise tolerance. We don't just throw the ban hammer at people just because you got an argument, you said a few cuss words. Okay, we're not going to kick you out. We're not going to have your account suspended or try to convince Google to terminate you or something over a stupid argument. Okay. We're not going to do that. We go, people get in arguments, we tell them, hey, you guys, can you cool it down a little bit? There's other people here. Let's try to get along. We might delete their comments if they're making it's a lot of profanity. We might delete it and give them a warning, But there has to be a system of accountability. And otherwise, if there's not, this is what happens. And like I said, it's really, really a bad situation, not just for YouTube and the content creators. It's a bad situation for the everyday average users on YouTube, because like I said, a lot of us, we don't want, we want to interact in a positive manner. I don't get on YouTube to view hate speech and to interact with people who are triggered at nothing. You got people here literally would just get angry at the thin air. They're just pissed off at the world. They just have nothing but hatred for humanity. And there's nothing you can say that's right. Anything you do or say is wrong, and they're going to threaten you. They're going to harass you no matter what, because they're completely screwed in the head. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe their mom was smoking crack as a baby. Who knows? I don't know. But they have no business being on YouTube. That's what I have to say. If you can't act like a respectable human being on social media, then you have no business being on social media. That's just the way I see it. You know, because it's not fair to the rest of us. You know, I don't go video to video harassing people and slandering people and calling all people all kinds of derogatory, you know, making all kinds of derogatory remarks and calling people names and stuff. That's just ridiculous. In fact, I seen, you know what? I saw a video just the other day from a channel I watch pretty often, every now and then, at least once or twice a month anyways, Tipster Gaming, Robert from Tipster Gaming. And somebody came there and made some ignorant remark on one of his videos, and he went back and he started throwing profanity at him, and he's returning with more derogatory remarks. You know, that's the whole wrong way to go about it. If you're a content creator and somebody's harassing you, just block them, just delete the comment, just get them out of your life. Don't go on with it. Don't, you know, why make the situation worse? You know, we don't tolerate it, like on our channels or even in our communities on Google Plus. I mean, if you can't act like a decent human being, we're going to kick you out. It's that simple. I'm not going to sit here and argue. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to throw you out. I mean, it's a waste. Why waste my breath? You know. I mean, we're talking about people that you cannot be reasoned with. They're not reasonable. And they have a chip on their shoulder for whatever reason. You know, they're looking to pick a fight. They're looking to start a fight, and you're feeding their mentality. You're just pouring fuel on the fire by continuing to fight and argue with these people. It's best to just let it go. So where do we go now? What's going to happen now? Now we're at the situation where we're probably gonna all lose our ads again. I'm sorry to tell everybody, we're probably gonna lose our ads. I have a pretty good idea that I don't think that this time around. I don't think that Google is gonna necessarily pull ads off of channels again. I think the issue is that Google's not gonna have any ads to serve again. It's really gonna be the issue. That appears to be what's going on right now with these major brands pulling out. I know HP was one of them. Adidas. I have seen HP ads this past month on Gamers Bay, so that really tells me that, you know, we're going to be losing revenue no matter what. Ad revenue is already rock bottom. It's the lowest it's ever been on YouTube. The world economy is crap. And, you know, we have a huge disparity between the rich and the poor in just about every major society. And it's really a global problem. You know, ad revenue right now on YouTube is like less than $1 on average. And coming January the 1st, because the U.S. economy is just complete crap right now. It's not that great. Black Friday was okay online. It wasn't so great for brick and mortar retailers. I think, you know, we're going to be seeing ad revenues probably drop again like they did last year. People are going to be making, you know, 20 cents for 1,000 views. And, you know, unless you're getting 500,000 views a day, you're probably not going to be able to survive off of YouTube anymore. You know, so whatever Google's doing, it's not working. I mean, man, we can't keep, you know, we already went through this. They've done absolutely nothing to rectify the situation. You know, this is totally, you know, they should have updated their algorithms to address inappropriate comments months and months and months ago. It should not have drawn out this long. You know, yeah, they need to get rid of it. They need to get rid of it. You know, if you know, the way I look at it is if you know, if somebody is upset about something, they don't agree with something, they can make a remark without throwing profanity everywhere, without threatening people, without harassing people. I think what Google should just do is just start pretty much just censoring people who are not team players and just can't get along with anybody. You know, like I said, they're just here to harass and threaten people. They don't belong here anyways. And the best thing to do is just throw them out. So yeah, it really sucks it came down to this. And on top of everything, there's more. There's more to this story. Okay. Let's go check this out. So you can see here is one of the stories. This one's from The Guardian. Firms ditch YouTube ads over predatory comments on videos of children. Great. That's just wonderful. We all needed to hear that, right? And something very strange is going on with YouTube and its shadowy enforcement system. Well, Google went up in arms this last week, and it turns out on Thanksgiving, things went the way they did, and on Thanksgiving they started, tweaking their algorithms, and a bunch of really big channels went offline. Miley Cyrus, iDubbbz, Keemstar's channel went down. A whole bunch of big YouTubers lost their channels. They were literally eating Thanksgiving dinner, and went, "Oh my God, my channel has just been terminated. What the heck is going on?" So they got their channels back. That's the good news. They got the big YouTubers got their channels back. But this is a really, really, really big problem. YouTube begins purging non-family friendly content as advertisers react. Like I said, if you go back this past month, it turns out that there was issues with videos depicting children's characters in a not so savvy manner, and it turns out that kids were seeing this stuff, and so Google started tweaking algorithms about a month ago to address that situation. But overall, they've continued to allow people to throw these messed up comments in the comment sections of videos, and the results are, well, a platform full of hate speech still today. I guarantee you, I can go to almost any video on YouTube, any of these big YouTube channels, go to any of these big channels and check out their videos, and you can see firsthand that they're all full of hate speech. They're all full of profanity. They're all full of harassment. And it's not like, we're not talking about profanity in the sense of like the F word or SHIT or anything like that. We're talking about really vulgar remarks. Like I said, a lot of the N-word, and the intent is to harass people, to threaten people, intimidate people, and so forth. So it really sucks that it came down to this. I hope that Google can somehow smooth this out. In the meantime, yeah, I'm sorry, Susan Wojcicki. I'm sorry. It's really, you know what, honey? I think it's time for you to go, because you are not working out for YouTube. You knew this problem was going on, and Google executives once again failed to address the situation. They completely ignored what was going on. And so here we are again, and it sucks that it came down to this. So anyways, many thanks for watching. I'm interested to hear what your input is on this situation with the ad fiasco. Here we are again. I know that, I'm sorry to tell everybody, we're probably, you're all probably going to lose, for you hardworking YouTubers, you're probably going to lose the bulk of your ad revenue for at least the next few months. I think unfortunately, it could get to the point now where YouTube might just be ruined permanently, because, well, advertisers are only going to forgive and forget so many times. Major brands, I know if I was a major brand, I would not want my advertisements for my products and services on these videos on YouTube with all this derogatory language, all this negative remarks, and all the harassment, hate speech. And now we have all this stuff targeting children, and it's just disgusting. It really is. It should have never gone this far. Google says, oh, we have so many hundreds of hours uploaded every minute to YouTube. That's no excuse. You know what? Here's the thing. You really expect us to buy that, Google? What about the fact that I moderate on YouTube? Our 35 moderators on YouTube have no power. On Google Plus, they have no power here on YouTube to enforce the guidelines. How come we can do it there, but we can't do it here? I have no power to enforce anything on the YouTube platform at all. I can throw out 1,000 posts in a day on Google Plus of spammers, just straight up spam, fake news, people harassment, hate speech, stuff like that. I can throw all that stuff out, and it's done for. And if I get on YouTube, nope, I have no power. I can't do anything here. That makes absolutely no sense at all. So Google, the people that Google trusts to police one social network, they don't trust to police the other one. Where do they come up with this? I mean, you know, and then people wonder why we have to have moderators. Because, you know what? Because, you know, this is why we can't have nice things. Because people can't act like civil human beings. They can't treat each other in a respectful, responsible manner. They can't. If you try to trust people to do the right thing, they won't. I mean, there's good, bad people in this world. There's nothing in between. You're either, you know, either you respect humanity or you don't. There's no way around it. So hopefully, you know, Google will be able to figure out some way to patch this situation with the advertisers. It's not looking good for creators. I know a lot of us are in trouble at this point. This is really going to hurt our channels as well, to lose all the ad revenue, but it's just the way it goes. So anyways, many thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date with our latest videos. Check out the link below in the description for strategic social networking on Google+, our community. There's 160,000 IT and social media professionals there for you to connect with. If you're into SEO, IT, social media, social networking, web publishing, check out the community, join, get involved. You're welcome to publish your stories there that are IT, tech, social media, SEO related, and so forth. And until next time, take care.